everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessica and today's video is going to be on this makeup look. I don't know what I'm gonna call it yet. I'm traveling right now, so it's just a mixture of all of the makeup that I brought with me. This video is also made in partnership with Dalba. This spray has been so essential to my makeup and skincare travel routines. So if you want to learn more about it and get ready together, then just keep watching. I'm gonna start with the brows. I'm using the M Cosmetics Fine Liner Brow Pencil in Deep Taupe. I love this brow pencil because the tip is so small. I am actually not home right now. I am visiting my little sister. So we have very limited items to use. I've been doing a lot of traveling lately, so I expected my skin to be suffering, but surprisingly it's been doing pretty well. Like usually whenever I travel, my skin takes like a week to readjust, but maybe I just like did a better job at hydrating this time. And then for the tail end of the brows, I'm using my Floris's brow pencil. This one's a little bit darker. I kind of want to use an eyeshadow cream. I love multi-use products like this. I'm gonna do some yellowish eyeshadow. I brought this new palette with me and it's not the best quality, honestly. Like, this is probably the chalkiest yellow I've ever used. Maybe if I just don't blend it out and then it's just not yellow enough, you know? I was just in Switzerland, which was 9 hours ahead of California, but now I'm in Texas. It's been very confusing. I have not been able to sleep more than like 4 hours per night. But I wanted to talk about a specific thing that happened to me in Switzerland. I stayed originally in Zurich, but for the rest of the time I stayed in Grindelwald, which is like more, it's less like a city, it's more like a village, and it's in the mountains. So I booked my hotel pretty late because I wasn't sure if I wanted to stay in Grindelwald or somewhere else. So they didn't have any rooms left except the cheapest option. The cheapest room per night, it was $400, and that's expected for Switzerland. You know, like it's pretty expensive staying in hotels there. But when I got there, it was so like, this hotel had really good reviews, but my room was so bad. It was so hot and stuffy. And the main problem that I had was that there were so many bugs. I found out that they had like a drain fly problem. At first, there were just like a few little gnats. But then as soon as I started using the shower and the sink, so many more little gnats would pop up out of nowhere. And it got to the point that it was like everywhere in the bathroom. And I was so grossed out, I could not even sleep. And so I emailed the hotel at 2 a.m. and I said, please, can I please get a room change? Like, I don't think I can stay here like this. Because if it was just for 1 or 2 nights, I would have just sucked it up and like dealt with it. But I was staying there for a whole week. After I emailed them about it, I was actually sick, so I slept throughout the entire day. And when I woke up, it was because they called me and they said, do you still want a room change? And they upgraded me to a really nice room, and I was so happy about it. This is something that I've been trying to get better at, like actually asking, because you know, people always say the worst thing that anybody could say is no. But growing up, especially as an Asian girl, I feel like we're always taught to not cause problems for others. And girls growing up were always praised for being accommodating. It can be at our own expense. Like if I hadn't asked for a room change, I would have had to suffer in silence throughout the whole time. So it's something I'm working on, but it's hard to undo what we've been taught and how we've been taught to communicate. But yeah, I learned so much about myself in Switzerland. It was my first solo trip abroad. And another thing I learned is that I'm not as introverted as I think I am. I wasn't expecting to, but I actually started feeling lonely on my second day there. But I did end up making a friend with another solo female traveler. She's so nice. She was from Malaysia. We ended up spending the whole day together basically until we got to Grindelwald, and I got a heat rash. I got a heat fever and heat rash. Like once we got to Grindelwald, I accidentally took the wrong path up to my hotel, and it required a mini hike. It was so steep and I was carrying all my luggage and lugging it. Oh my god, it was so bad. If you guys are ever planning a solo trip, please pack light, because that was the worst thing, lugging all my luggage everywhere. I don't really know what this eye look is really. I'm just doing whatever. Next, I'm gonna prep my skin with the Dalba White Truffle First Spray Serum. If you haven't noticed, serums have been my skincare obsession this year. It's reaching hoarder level, but there's just so many different kinds and they all have like different purposes. And so this one is really interesting because it's a spray. You can see it has an oil layer on top to lock in moisture and a serum layer on the bottom, which is made up of white truffle extract, their signature ingredient, and vitamin E, which both have intense anti-aging and antioxidant properties to improve skin elasticity. It has a really fine mist, so you can use it for skincare and makeup since it won't leave any splotches. So I'm gonna shake it. Pat it in. It smells so good. You can see right away, it gives you a really nice natural glow. This is the #1 face mist on Amazon, so if you want to pick up one for yourself, Dalpa's doing a huge Prime Day sale in October, so stay tuned for that. Next, let's apply foundation. I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion, but recently I've been seeing a trend of people posting what real makeup looks like without filters or like lights. And honestly, I feel like a lot of it is really feigned authenticity. Like I saw a girl post a picture and she was like, oh, like people on social media lie to you and this is what real makeup looks like. And it was just, her makeup was separating. People in the comments are saying like, oh, it's just textured skin. It's not. You can tell when makeup is separating, right? Like it doesn't look the same as just makeup on textured skin. I've seen makeup done on really smooth skin and I've seen it done on really textured skin, and makeup can look good on very textured skin and makeup can look bad on very smooth skin. It's so strange how sometimes we go from one end of a spectrum to like all the way on the other side. And I feel like it was started with like the filters and stuff where people were believing it and thinking like, oh, this is what these people actually look like. And now it's on the other end where they don't know what real makeup looks like. So they just believe that every time they see good makeup application is filtered. Obviously, it depends on like the quality of the camera being used and the lighting. I don't know if it's just because I've been doing YouTube for a while now, but I can tell when a video is filtered versus when there's just good lighting and good makeup application. It makes me kind of sad when I see those kinds of posts because your makeup does not have to look like that, you know? Like it could just be the products you're using or something like that, but it's not supposed to be separating. I want to try using the eyeshadow stick to cream contour, but I don't know if it's cool tone enough. So let's just try it. I'm gonna use the Dalpa spray again to soften this so I can blend it easier. Next, I'm gonna set my makeup. I think I'm gonna do blush before I contour my nose. I'm gonna try yellow eyeshadow. Is that working? Ah, this palette's such a disappointment. Let's see if I can try using the lightest yellow shade. Oh. This is at least... Trust the process, guys. I think you're supposed to pull it down a little bit when you do this so that your nose looks smaller. I honestly have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just packing on more eyeshadow. I haven't worn makeup in a while actually, so even though like this product is not very good at all, I kind of like the feeling of having to learn how to work with a product. I don't know, it's just something about it is like fun. It's like problem solving, you know? I actually really like this as a brightening powder. I am looking kind of like a powder donut right now because I've applied so much eyeshadow. So I'm going to go in with the Dalpa spray again. See, this is so useful. This is why I brought it with me. I use it in my skincare. I use it in like almost every step of my makeup. And that's just gonna melt the product together, make it more seamless. Look at my skin. This is not filtered, no splotches. Let's go back to the eyes. I'm gonna use mascara. I feel like the egg style could be a little bit more defined. Let's apply mascara to the lower lashes. Why is this liner so patchy? I'm gonna fix it after this. Don't forget the lower lashes. Finally, for the lips, I'm gonna use like a orangish powder. Oh, there's this technique I wanted to try. I don't know if this is gonna suit me, but like here. Does that look weird? Let's do a bit of highlighter on the nose. Then enough for the lips. I'm using that same contour stick. Let's try a nude gloss. On the outside, I'm gonna use concealer. Of course, I'm gonna use the Delta spray again. I'm applying it to my body because you can use this as a body mist too for extra glow. And this is the completed look. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you liked me, remember to follow me on all of my social media, which will be linked in the description box down below. Also, a reminder, if you want to check out the Dalba White Truffle First Spray Serum, I will also leave that link in the description box, and I will see you in my next video.